Montenegro, a small nation nestled in the heart of the Balkans, boasts a history as dramatic as its mountainous terrain. For centuries, this land of towering peaks and sparkling coastlines was defined by its agrarian roots. The majority of Montenegrins lived in rural villages, their lives intricately intertwined with the rhythms of nature. They cultivated fertile valleys, herded sheep on verdant slopes, and fished the abundant Adriatic waters. Life was simple yet challenging. The rugged terrain and limited arable land made subsistence farming the norm. Families toiled tirelessly to produce enough food for their own needs, with little surplus for trade or economic advancement. Despite these hardships, the Montenegrin spirit thrived. Known for their fierce independence and unwavering resilience, they forged a strong sense of community amidst the challenges of their agrarian existence. This way of life, however, was not destined to last. The winds of change began to blow through Europe at the dawn of the 20th century, carrying with them the promise of industrial progress and the spectre of global conflict. Montenegro, despite its geographical isolation, would not be immune to these transformative forces. The coming decades would witness a dramatic shift from its agrarian foundation to a more complex and industrialized economy. As Montenegro navigated the tumultuous currents of the 20th century, its traditional way of life would be irrevocably altered. The echoes of its agrarian past, however, would continue to resonate, shaping its identity and providing a stark contrast to the rapid modernization that lay ahead. The stage was set for a dramatic transformation, one that would test the resilience of the Montenegrin people and redefine their place in a rapidly changing world. The 20th century dawned upon Montenegro with a mix of promise and peril. The echoes of industrial progress reverberating from across Europe reached its mountainous borders, hinting at a future beyond its agrarian past. Yet these aspirations for modernization were soon overshadowed by the dark clouds of war. The First World War engulfed Europe, dragging Montenegro into its vortex of destruction. The small nation, though known for its fierce warriors, was ill-prepared for the scale of modern warfare. The war devastated Montenegro's fledgling infrastructure and crippled its already fragile economy. The conflict brought agricultural production to a standstill, leading to widespread hardship and displacement. The post-war years offered little respite. The country, now absorbed into the newly formed Kingdom of Yugoslavia, struggled to rebuild. The 1920s saw a brief period of recovery, fueled by hopes of a brighter future within a unified Yugoslav state. However, this fragile peace was shattered by the outbreak of World War II. Once again, Montenegro found itself caught in the crosshairs of global conflict. The horrors of war returned, leaving a trail of destruction and despair in their wake. The conflict further hampered Montenegro's economic development, pushing it further into poverty and dependence. The post-war period brought about a new political reality. Yugoslavia, now under the firm grip of socialist rule, embarked on an ambitious program of industrialization and modernization. The final decade of the 20th century brought about seismic shifts in the geopolitical landscape of Europe, with the Yugoslav Federation crumbling under the weight of ethnic tensions and economic woes. Montenegro, tethered to Serbia in a diminished federation, faced a period of profound uncertainty. The wars that ravaged neighboring republics sent shockwaves through its economy, already reeling from the inefficiencies of a centralized socialist system. International sanctions imposed in response to the conflicts further isolated Montenegro, stifling its growth and pushing it to the brink of economic collapse. The dawn of the new millennium, however, brought with it a glimmer of hope. In 2006, Montenegro seized the opportunity to chart its own course, peacefully seceding from Serbia and reclaiming its long-cherished independence. This newfound sovereignty ignited a spirit of optimism and a determination to rebuild. Recognizing the limitations of its small size and industrial capacity, Montenegro embarked on a new economic path, one that capitalized on its natural beauty and strategic location. Tourism emerged as the cornerstone of Montenegro's economic strategy. The country, once hidden behind the Iron Curtain, opened its doors to the world, showcasing its stunning Adriatic coastline, dramatic mountain ranges, and rich cultural heritage. Investments flowed in, fueling a construction boom and transforming sleepy coastal towns into bustling tourist hotspots. The service sector flourished, creating much-needed jobs and driving economic growth. Montenegro's burgeoning tourism industry and ambitious infrastructure projects, however, did not unfold in isolation. The global financial crisis of 2008 sent shockwaves through the global economy, and Montenegro, heavily reliant on foreign investment and tourism, found itself grappling with the spillover effects. The crisis exposed the vulnerabilities of its rapid economic expansion, revealing an overdependence on a single sector and a growing current account deficit. The flow of foreign direct investment, which had fueled Montenegro's construction boom, slowed to a trickle. Tourist arrivals dwindled as recession gripped major source markets. The construction sector, once a major driver of economic growth, contracted sharply, leading to job losses and a decline in economic activity. Faced with these challenges, Montenegro implemented austerity measures to stabilize its public finances, but these measures further dampened domestic demand and slowed the pace of recovery. The global crisis served as a stark reminder of the need for economic diversification and a more sustainable growth model. It underscored the importance of fostering other sectors, such as agriculture, manufacturing, and energy, to reduce its reliance on tourism and create a more resilient economy. The road to recovery would be arduous, requiring a delicate balancing act between fiscal consolidation and investments in key sectors to stimulate growth and create jobs.